Cushman, the legend in the plans. Please listen every day to the showcase. The opinions and knowledge that anyone can take. Showing you how it is done. Proving I am number one. What a legend becomes. This is now my time to show you that I am here. This podcast just to make it loud and clear. By the fans, for the fans. Not many whose head can understand everything pro wrestling. It can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people. The best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin. The opinion and the lesson. Yes.
What's going on, EPW Nation? It's your boys from the Everything College Basketball Podcast, Josh and Peyton, here to remind you all that college basketball season is right around the corner. Yes, we finally know it's right around the corner, and Peyton, there's only one place people should go for all the college basketball excitement.
Well, Josh, the only place to find all college basketball hoops all the time is Everything College Basketball. Everything College Basketball can be listened to on several podcast hosting sites like Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And we can also be found on our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Everything College Basketball.
Yes, make sure you are joining the group with a couple other 100 people and growing by the day as we march into year number 3 of the Everything College Basketball networking system. Now, let's get back to Conrad and Everything Pro Wrestling.
Folks, welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. And I'm your host, Conrad Cushman, being joined tonight by the Pro Wrestling Shoots only, Jesse. What's going on, Jesse?
What's going on, Conrad? Thanks for having me on the show tonight, man.
We are going to do a little bit of an AEW review. It's kind of an end of an era for them. It's going to be the end of the TNT era, I guess we'll call it, for the Dynamites, because next week they're moving to TBS. So this should be something interesting. Everybody in the chat, leave me some comments and everything else. Hit like on the video. And for us, we're going to get started here with our video from Montezi with the intro. Let's get it.
Everything pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people. The best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin. The opinion and the lesson. Yes, everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you.
All right, everybody. And let's just get these out of the way now. You guys already know today's podcast is sponsored by Manscaped. They have the new Lawnmower 4.0. We've got some new products up there at all times that you guys needed. If you need to have down low covered, you got to go with Manscaped. They do it right. They do it the best. I've used the products myself. They work great. They smell good. Why not be as fresh as you can be when it comes down to getting ready for any special occasions, we're going to say. So make sure you guys use our promo code EPW Show and save yourselves 20% and get free delivery. Also, if you guys like pro wrestling, I assume that's why everybody's in here. You guys can put in our promo code for powerslam.tv and watch some independent wrestling on your boys. Now, they have all of the latest and greatest when it comes to indie wrestling. They have all of the wrestling in my local area. I'm sure they have it in yours as well. So please give them a look and put in the promo code and you get one free month on us. But we got Jesse in the house. We don't want to waste too much time. Jesse's time is precious. He's part of a big network. He's got a lot of things going on over his way. But Jesse, I want to start off the show a little bit differently. Normally, everyone saves it till the end for you to tell people what your podcast is about. We've got a big number in here right now. Jesse, tell us what the Pro Wrestling Shoot is about and what you've got going on right now.
Man, we just like to talk old wrestling. We like to talk current wrestling, mostly AEW nowadays, man. There's not too much to talk about on WWE on that side, but yeah, we just chat AEW. We like to do some fun stuff and original segments. Right now we're doing a what if series, so to speak. It's a lot of fun. Just kind of fantasy booking in certain situations, trying to take the podcast a different direction. But
tell about some of the ones you've done, man.
So we've currently done what if Hunter Hearst Helmsley won King of the Ring 1996. We did what if Kurt Angle joined ECW originally when he signed in 96 or was supposed to. And then we did What If WCW won the Monday Night War? And recently we just released What If Hollywood Hogan never joined the NWO? And this Monday we're releasing What If Eddie Guerrero was still with us? And that's featuring you, Conrad. Thank you so much for standing in for my co-host, giving him a week off. I'm sure he appreciates that.
Shout out to James. James, don't say I never gave you a shout out now, brother. All right. So hope everything is well with you. Let's give some love to the people in the chat here real quick. We got KJ in the house. Jen Carter, what's going on? Thank you. Chad saying what's up. Chad, we got a special guest on tonight. See, you weren't ready for that. Surprised you. BJ also in the house saying, hey, everybody. Casey Briggs, another famous guest on the podcast. We always get into it, me and him, about some pro wrestling talk. Love it. Matt Lopez is here. Matt, what is going on? Ace, one of the mods in the chat. Ace, what's going on? Thank you. Thank you for coming in. E is also here. NXT was fire tonight. Knock it off. Knock it off. Yeah, Pro Wrestling Shoot is here too. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, BJ?
Yeah, people are talking. B-Boy Skyline said it was NYC versus upstate New York. This is pretty much true. We had some stand-ins that weren't from Western New York, but we'll allow it. We'll allow it. Azan White, what's going on? Thank you for joining us. We got DTA Pro Wrestling. I believe that's Eric as well. What a Dynamite. Yes. Tazzy does NXT watch-alongs if you guys are interested. I've been on those too. So make sure you show him some love. He put, it's a party, baby. Rob is also in the house. Rob is downstairs. Rob actually made a delicious dinner for us tonight. Some chicken and steak quesadillas. Yo, on point. Shout out to Rob. So that's why we are in here. What is this? If you are trying to have a New Year's smash yourself, you're going to have to keep things manscaped. BJ, you got to send these in before I say this. That was lovely.
BJ's always coming in hot on these chats, man.
Somebody's got to. Tazzy said he loved the show tonight. All right. I like it. I like seeing that. Toxic World, what's going on? Thank you for joining us. Was WWE? Haven't watched it in over a decade. Yikes. Chucky's not coming tonight, somebody said. Let's see here. DTA Pro Wrestling, what up? What's going on? Dark Elite Eric. We got people popping up in Twitch, YouTube. Guys, look up EPW show, subscribe, follow. We're going to get into this Dynamite review here. Just trying to see if anyone else joined us that I missed. If I missed you, I'm sorry. And let's get into this. Jesse, opening. First off, rest in peace to John Madden. I'm a big Madden video game player, and I know this has nothing to do with it, but I just had to show some love to John Madden. I always feel like hip-hop, sports, entertainment, music, it can all be intertwined in some way, shape, form. Love those games. I don't know if you have anything you wanted to say about John Madden, but I'll kick it to you too about that.
It was just crazy situation, man. I wasn't expecting that. Randomly popped on social media yesterday and saw the news. So, yeah, sucks, man. I'm a huge football guy, so hit the feels pretty hard on that one.
Yeah, he just had that special that came out too. What was it? Christmas Eve, I think it came out. I didn't even get a chance to watch that, man. I was just like, damn.
I haven't seen it yet either.
Oh, and Casey's bringing up shoot stuff here. Pro Wrestling Shoots on, we get shoot stuff. He said, did you get that damn Worcestershire sauce for Rob? Yes, I did get it. I had to go to 3 stores before Dynamite started to get this shit. By the way, tell your local stores to have that shit on hand, man. I had to go everywhere for it. Shout out Betty White. Betty White is being referenced on this podcast apparently as well. This is crazy.
Hey, she's still with us, man.
Yeah, she's a legend in her own right. Former Raw, what was it, guest GM or whatever when they used to do the co-host stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Jim Ross, though. Speaking of Raw, Jim Ross, the voice of pro wrestling, is back. I'm glad that he was announced cancer-free today. He's back in the booth calling it like he should. He came out with the Jordans on. I peeped it, JR. I see you with the sneaker game. I'm just glad he's able to do something and enjoy himself. So it sounded like he had a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, he looked good, man. It was pretty emotional watching him come back out too, man. It was nice. Tony Schiavone and Excalibur kind of cleared the way for him to come in there and take his bows. It was really cool, man. I enjoyed it.
I love it. I love that they actually show. That's usually before the show starts. You would see that entrance if you've ever been to AEW, and it was cool to see that they just did it on air tonight. So really good. shout out to Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. We recorded last night talking some pro wrestling, and he said, I like what I'm seeing, this collaboration with EPW and the Pro Wrestling Shoot. I think this content is legit. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
And Sean, please feel free. Go up to Jesse. Jesse works with everybody, so if he can make the time, he'll do it. So send him a DM if you need to. We got people already. By God. Yes, JR is the man. JR is the man. So let's get into this opening contest tonight. Jurassic Express, Christian Cage, and the Lucha Bros versus FTR, Matt Hardy, and Private Party. What'd you think of this 5-man tag that was kind of entered a little bit later on? Like, we just saw it on Twitter announced, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This is probably gonna be the opener.
I'm glad it started the show. because if it would have been in the middle, would have thrown me out of the show, man. You know how I feel about these Survivor Series tag team matches and 5-man and trios match. I'm with Derek on this one, man.
Listen, he sent me a text message already shitting on this. So Derek has never changed his stance. Derek is a hater. And you see Derek doesn't show up when the Patriots lose. I just want everybody to notice that when his team loses and we take that AFC East spot from him, he's nowhere to be seen. Shout out to the Buffalo Bills. Anywho, I like these, though. I don't have an issue with them. I feel like I know what they're going to be. And I thought Christian and FTR in the beginning of this, it was good. Christian is the perfect wrestler to slow down the action. Like, I feel like he tells people, you don't have to rush through this. We've got them. Like, in the palm of our hands, we've got this. And I thought FTR is really great at doing that as well. They're kind of that classic NWA-style tag team wrestling, but I like what they did in this one.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad match, man. I mean, it's you know me. I always complain to you as well in text me. Oh my God, here we go again. This match wasn't bad though. I'm just glad it opened the show because I don't think I would have been ready for it in the middle.
Right? People are talking about TK got that money. I got a question. When do you think that Christian Cage is going to turn on Jungle Boy? I'm going to pose this to my guest here. I'm going to pose this to Jesse.
It kind of looks like they're building towards it, right?
I think so.
But you just never know, man. Everything is ran differently in AEW. You don't really have that same style that WWE would run with. So maybe he might stick with them for a while. Who knows? So
let me ask you this. Do you miss Marco Stunt not being with them? Do you feel like this would be slighted? Like, if you're Marco, are you mad? Like, what do you think of this whole thing?
I didn't think I would originally, but I kind of do, man, because it throws, I don't know, man. I thought that brought some originality to that team, and not seeing him there is kind of strange, and Christian Cage replacing him is definitely strange. So, yeah, I kind of miss him, man. I'd like to see him come back.
You just dumped your buddy.
Yeah.
You can't hang with us anymore, man. you haven't been getting wins.
I'm sure they got something planned for him in the future, though. They did.
I hope
that
so.
roster's deep, man. They gotta fit everybody on TV, you know.
Supposedly, he tried out for like The Voice or something and made it to the next round. I've heard him play guitar. I think he's pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, are we talking guitar? Or are we talking Guitar Hero? Because I know Marco.
No, guitar. He's legit.
Okay. All right. Cool.
He says Keith Mitchell's retiring. Damn, that means we'll never see Cody come down to the ring with a tiger like Scott Steiner in WCW. Wait, is this real? Is Keith Mitchell retiring? Somebody look this up and let me know in the chat, please. HFO was vibing the FTR song. So, yeah, that was another weird thing with this. Like, are people not coming out to their song because they just want to come out to the Midnight Express theme? Like, I'm starting to think that's the
classic
thing. Like, it's good. It's good. Back to this match, though. I have to compliment Christian's footwork in this. I know a lot of people don't pay attention to this stuff. I've been watching wrestling for so long that I look for little shit like this at this point. Christian's footwork with FTR's was just money. You can't, there's nothing that I even can say bad about it. I even thought then after FTR and Christian have their moments, this is when you get the wild shit that I'm sure this is where Derek and Jesse always are like, nah, this ain't it, bro. You got to chill out with all this, doing too much, jumping off backs, hurricanranas, DDTs. People are going all over the place. I can't write all this down. We did get a nice flipping DDT from Mark Quinn. I thought that was an interesting move that they did. But the story of this match was the babyface teams have some kind of beef with each other. So Jurassic Express and Lucha Bros are getting into it. Christian makes the tag. Penta wasn't feeling it. He was like, what the hell are you doing? They're arguing. FTR shoves him in. Big rig to Christian. 1, 2, 3. The bad guys walk out with the win here. What did you think?
Had to give it to him, man. You had to, because it's going to build up to this next match. I thought it was brilliant. I liked the finish to this match a lot.
And it was smart that Christian got pinned, because that doesn't hurt the tag teams involved in the match, because
Correct.
Christian's not in this. So it works.
Yes. And doubling back to that FTR theme, man, classics never die. And I absolutely love that theme that they come out to. I am an 80s wrestling fan to the core. So when FTR showed up in AEW, man, they brought me that whole vibe. I absolutely enjoy it. And I'd want to come out to that theme as well. So I don't blame any of those guys for wanting to come out to that.
We were at the Dark where it debuted, and the pop for it was much louder than I think it was shown on YouTube. Like, we were there, we were like, oh, they got the Midnight Express theme. How did this happen? And we were like, how? At first we thought it was a mistake. Like, did they play the wrong theme? Because you just heard the doom, 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 doom. I'm like, what FTR? What the hell is this?
Well, I think Turner owns that, doesn't he?
I don't think so. Because I believe when they were on a podcast, they were very specific to say, no, it's not the Midnight Express theme, because I think Jim Cornette dubbed it from someone else, and then they dubbed that version of Jim Cornette. So it's kind of like a remix to a remix. So they're like, no, don't say that. We didn't copy anybody, because I don't want to get lawsuit later. Or lawsuited. What the hell am I saying? They're not trying to get sued later. Woo! Yeah. Tongue tied. There's a lot of acronyms in this. HFO was vibing. Let's see here. That match was dope. Love Coach Christian Cage. Y'all just can't pay attention to all them wrestlings. 8 or 10 man tags must be done correctly and timed properly, and it came across like a cluster. Okay, is that you feel the same as Sean here?
No, I thought the match turned out good. I just normally don't enjoy these kind of matches. I thought it was well done tonight, but there are certain moments in the match that it's going to seem like that. It's just hard to keep up with all those bodies in the ring, man.
Right. Hot take Christian to turn on Jungle Boy. Okay. We got people saying Christian is a jam up guy. He would never turn on anybody. Yeah. He's a swell guy. I miss Marco's stunt. Marco's out doing music. He's good. Derek, if your Pats keep losing, wear a Bills or a Steelers jersey. I don't know about that Steelers either, but let's see. Can someone fill me in what happened to Marco's stunt? He just got replaced kind of in the group. Christian became more involved. That's basically it.
Hey, nobody's seen him on TV for a while.
Right. Leave on Twitter. Tonight there will be a final wrestling event produced by Keith Mitchell. His career spanned over 40 years, from World Class to WCW to Impact to AEW. Keith Mitchell is a beast. I hope somebody is ready to take the reins from him, because the way they laid out that CM Punk segment when he returned, great. So respect to Keith for that. Got to show love. Casey said, yeah, D posted it before the show. Keith retired after the show. Dang. Okay, everybody's confirming that. Fire match, somebody said. What is the best AEW tag finisher? I'm giving it to Jesse again before we move on here.
Oh, I don't even know. I kind of like what the Lucha Bros do. I don't even know what to call it, though. What's the
pile driver stomp?
Yeah, I like that one.
Right.
I don't know. It's always fun to watch the Elite do their stuff, too, though.
Yeah, I love the Meltzer driver. I know it's not a popular name to say sometimes, but it's a great move. Stunt's going to be on The Voice and Outdraw everybody. I'd vote for him. So let's get into the next matchup here. And you know what? I'm so mad at myself. I downloaded this damn graphic. No, and guess what? You guys are going to see this now. Just because I downloaded this, I put it up, wasted my space. There you go. That was the graphic for that match. And we're going to get into, this was the one that B-Boy Skyline in the chat dubbed Upstate New York versus New York City. Guess which one is which? This was a fun match, I thought. Daniel Garcia in 2.0 versus Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz. Okay, so Santana and Ortiz are still rocking the face paint. How are you feeling about them? Are they being misused, underutilized? There's been a lot of chitter chatter, even with them, on how they feel they've been used.
I seen some of the stuff they're posting in interviews, and yeah, I believe it's coming. I mean, I don't think that Tony Khan is gonna not listen to the fans. I feel like the fans want them to get their shot and get their run. It's coming, man. I think it's kind of weird that we really haven't seen the Inner Circle as a whole. So it's just kind of Proud and Powerful, and then you got Sammy on the side. And tonight we got a little bit of that, but we'll get to that later. But I don't know, man. I like what they do in the ring, but once again, they're sticking everybody in, these trios matches and stuff because they have to get them on TV somehow. At least they're on TV,
right?
So, I mean, what else are you going to do?
I think it works once they need to do it. But this match was different, man. I don't know. Like, I was kind of shocked that they kind of did back-to-back finishes that were similar in the opening one in this match. So the match ends with like a surprise finish. Santana got pinned by 2.0, and I was like, what? What just happened here? And I feel like they're trying to tell that story. And sometimes a loss like this is one of those, like, pump your brakes. Your time is going to come, but we got to slow you down a little bit right now so that you don't get on too much of a roll. Is that how you view this, or did you think like?
Well, I'm not really sure how I viewed that. I firmly believe that their time is coming, but I've been a Proud and Powerful fan for a very long time. Since they came in, I was really hyped on them. I thought it was weird that they haven't really gotten their shot yet. But then again, we still haven't seen a Jungle Boy Luchasaurus tag team title holder yet. So we'll have to just wait and see, man. I mean, I think their time's coming really soon. I'm sure after this whole feud with the Lucha Bros and, Jungle Express, it'll come. Yeah.
We got a lot of people giving their thoughts on this now too. Santana and Ortiz should be in the tag picture. P&P are definitely underused, he says. Ace, we're going to get into Chris Jericho stuff right after this. Casey said P&P need the straps.
See, and right there, like the comment section, you can't sit there and think that Tony Khan doesn't know all of this stuff. You know what I mean? He's here in the chatter, especially on Twitter. It's going to happen, man.
Yeah, I think we all just keep assuming it was going to they're going to be the ones to beat the Young Bucks. We're talking ourselves into it, how we would do it, and Tony Khan's got different plans.
Right.
And if it wasn't them, we'd be complaining about the Lucha Bros then being underutilized. You know what I mean? You could substitute name in there and make it fit. And Malik Murray just said it. You can't push everyone on TV. They need to get rid of some people on the roster. Yeah, I think that's going to eventually happen, or contracts will go out. Jericho is just in the UK. Jeez Louise. Not even commenting on that. And we'll get into some of that talk too that Toxic World just brought up here. But let's get into the finish of this. Jericho comes out afterwards with the baseball bat. His theme hits. He trots down to the ring, comes in with the bat, scares everybody off. But then Kingston is checking on his friend who got hit in the head after the match with the ring bell. Daniel Garcia picked up the ring bell. Haven't seen that in a long time. Put that in the video game, somebody. Like any wrestling video game. Please let people hit someone with the ring bell again.
Good old ring bell.
Yeah, he got dinked right upside his head with it. He's out. Kingston's checking on him, and I feel like Jericho was still standing up and pandering to the crowd a little bit. So he got pissed off. He was like, "Yo, what are you doing, bro?" And
I was digging it, man. He came out to the music. He was really serious. Had the bat swinging it around. The crowd singing his song, and we didn't even see a smile from Jericho. I absolutely loved that. I was hoping that he wasn't going to smile at that crowd during this saving moment.
Yeah, I think he knows when's the right time to give the look and everything else. He knew this was supposed to be a serious angle, and him and Kingston have to sell it on the promos too, because that's Kingston's strong suit. This works, man. And I wonder now, could you tease this being, I know we always kid around. We were talking about the Eddie Guerrero stuff, but is this like the custody of Santana and Ortiz ladder match where you got Jericho on one side, Kingston on the other? Because some people do want them with Kingston instead. Maybe that.
I don't know, man. Like, so the whole Kingston thing, I can't really understand what's going on. 1 week, he's best friends with Penta, and then now he's with Proud and Powerful. It's like, which side is he going to pick here? Like, what team is he going to align himself with? John Moxley comes back. Is all of this done, and he's just back with John Moxley, or they need to figure out what they're doing with Kingston? I feel like, because that guy's all over the place.
Yeah, I think it's tough too, though, with Moxley being out. Like, where are you going with this? I think they had to veer off completely, and they're still trying to figure out their footing for where they want to be going forward with this. And shout out to Jen. She said she got her OU hat signed one time by Jim Ross at the game. That is dope.
Oh, that's awesome.
let's get into, so we saw Temper's Flare and they kind of ended that. Let's get into Toni Storm. Toxic World brings it up now, and I think it's an appropriate time, I guess, to talk about it. Toni Storm was released. I put it in the Pro Wrestling Shoot group. I put it in the Everything Pro Wrestling group. What do you think of all this? Like, I know it's rumored she might have asked for the release, but she's gone, and I think that's the main focus of all this. You had a great talent like that for years, and I felt like she was never utilized to her full potential ever.
Yeah, it was a weird situation, man. I mean, at this point, it's all speculation, right? Because we got different reports coming in. She was released, so that made you think that she was just another victim of all these releases. But then I think it was it Meltzer that reported that she was that she asked for her release, like she quit or whatever happened.
Maybe it was him. The only one I looked at was Sean Ross Sapp, and I kind of just left it at that today.
Okay,
you get busy, and I'm not going to triple check sources and everything else. But
right, no, it was the Twitter feed going nuts. I scrolled it once, and there was one report saying she was released.
Sorry, I was going to jump in. I said I felt bad for her too with NXT UK. I felt like she was going to be the main focus for their women's division, and then they kind of veered off and went with Rhea Ripley instead. They were like, "Nah, she's the one." She gets the big win finally, short title reign, and just drops the belt off and gets moved over to NXT. It just felt like they never gave her anything to sink her feet into, and then she could feel like she was solid in that spot. She just was always like,
wasn't she just in this huge Thanksgiving feud on SmackDown or Raw or whatever one she was on?
She got hit in the face with 2 pies by Charlotte.
I knew there was pies flying. I just wasn't sure what was going on there.
Yeah, and the pictures looked really bad after. I saw some people being very bad with those on Twitter with the 2 cream pies to the face that she took. Badooch.
You just had to add the word before the pies, right?
I'm sorry. Well, that was what was there. It wasn't pumpkin.
Touché. I see you, Conrad. I see you.
I'm sorry. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
I mean, well, she was in a feud with Charlotte, which is one of their top talents, so it was just a weird timing. Maybe she wasn't happy about the role she had during that feud, or like I said, it's all speculation at this point. We'll just have to wait until more news comes out about it, I guess.
Right, and I see a lot of people jumping in. What's up, Jay? Thank you for joining us. I see you, bro. Yeah, let's see. Toni Storm no longer in WWE. More hardship for 2K games, bro. Listen, Jesse's a big fan of the video game series too. I don't know what's going to happen with this game at this point.
I heard a lot of releases are still going to be in the game, so
yeah, that's a good thing. I think.
Yeah. Well, do they get paid?
Yeah, I would assume so. At least I know Punk
royalties,
fought for
right?
it. Yeah, Punk fought for it and got his money from it.
There you go.
Casey, I will try to keep my glasses off for you. I know you love my eyes. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Back in the AEW for you guys. The next matchup was Wardlow with Shawn Spears versus Colin Delaney. Or no, excuse me. I skipped all the talking segments. There's like 15 of them on these shows every week.
Count them down.
MJF talks about the great bidding war in 2024. I can't believe they're really letting this guy bring up that he's going to be a free agent and he could possibly go to WWE.
I mean, it's working for him right now. We see. I think
I just hope he doesn't come back to fight AEW. Like Vince comes in with some killer offer. They're like, "Yeah, I'm out, bro. I'm going to take that couple mil he offered me. Thanks."
Yeah. Well, they're mentioning WWE every single week, so I mean, it's working for him. Everybody's popping for it.
Right. He says Punk is yesterday's news. He said he ran from him the fight. He's a heel. So that was his excuse. What interests me was the Wardlow stuff, though. He said, Wardlow, I need you to keep winning matches so you can get in the face of the Revolution ladder match, which is their version of kind of Money in the Bank. So I'm like, oh, okay. So he wants him to keep getting these wins. That's why he's been competing every week. And he said, and when you win, you're going to give me the title shot. And I was like, wow. And Wardlow was like, what are you talking about? And I love that they went back to smart Mark Sterling. He was like, tell him the contract you gave him. And he was like, well, section 2, paragraph, blah, 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 says that I will forfeit. He used all these lawyer terms. He did a great job with that.
That boy did fantastic, man. He read that so fast. He must have practiced that. I don't know. That was really good.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing with what he did there. So it sounds like he's going to have to relinquish the title shot to MJF. this is interesting. Me and Casey were talking, just messaging back and forth. Casey brought up how it reminded him of maybe like a Triple H Batista storyline. When I see this, I always think of $1 Million Man and Virgil.
So I just seen the meme, the meme already on Facebook, and it was Batista, doing the thumbs up to Triple H and Ric Flair when he was about to sign the SmackDown contract. And then all of a sudden puts a thumbs down and they have the MJF face and Sean Spears on Triple H and Ric Flair. And then they got Wardlow over there on Batista's. It was great. I think that is going to happen though.
Yeah. I feel like that's the route they're going. And it's just fun seeing how the ride is to get there. They haven't really teased where he's disrespected him yet. He hasn't slapped him in the face or anything, but it's got to be coming one of these days.
I think they've been teasing this turn and this match for years, man.
Yeah, I like it though. It's long term.
Yeah, it's really long term. It's gonna put Wardlow over. That's for sure.
And it's all about timing. If you do it at the right time, people will go crazy. Local wrestler Colin Delaney here, though, from Rochester, New York. He gets power bombed to death and foot on the chest. 1, 2, 3 squash match here. Wardlow's looking good, man. I was happy with this one.
Who else? Where else was Colin Delaney on?
ECW.
What was it?
Remember ECW like 2008? Yeah, they signed him for a little bit, and he was wrestling on the roster. He turned on Dreamer and all that stuff.
Oh, okay. As soon as I seen him, I was like, man, this guy looks awfully familiar.
Yeah, he was on there for a little bit, and then they cut him. But Delaney's the man. He wrestles here locally. He's in a tag team, To Infinity and Beyond, I believe it's called. Good team, though. Check them out if you guys haven't. And I skipped the other thing too. The Lucha Bros and Jurassic Express get into it, and the match is made where they kind of shit talk Christian a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I was happy with this. I like it, and I guess we'll talk about that more once we get into the matches for next week. Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, baby. They get into the beef, I guess, that they had going from NXT. I like that AEW is going to acknowledge it, that there was a problem beforehand. It wasn't like, oh yeah, we're all good buddies now and everything's all great. It's like, no, bro, this dude beat the shit out of you with like a chain around his leg. Someone has to acknowledge this, right?
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that they carried over the storyline, and now you got Kyle O'Reilly asking if he can trust Adam Cole, and yeah, I thought it was a great turn, man. Great turn. And we haven't really seen this kind of stuff on wrestling before. They don't notice. They don't like to take notice of anything that's happened in another company. And AEW is just over here breaking all the rules, man. It's a lot of fun.
I know. I like that. And I like the fact that he was like, Brandon, turn the camera off. And, it's always a little bit late or whatever. Yeah. Very well done that they have their own cameraman. And I like the little things that they're trying to put in there. So this should be interesting for what they do with this. Dan Lambert comes out next after this, and he's talking shit about Cody. Adrenaline in my soul. And we didn't talk about this, so I guess we can bring it up. The Cody Rhodes becoming TNT champion. We're both Cody Rhodes fans, so I want to hear what people got to say about this. What did you think of him becoming the champion again?
Don't eat me alive, chat, but I love it. Like, I think that guy's championship material, man. He always has been. I don't care if he's an EVP. That boy needs to have gold because he's pissing everybody off right now, and I think it's classic. It's great, man. He's got to feed off this heat, and he knows he's creating a momentum. So, what better way to piss him off than to win the title back and get him talking some more?
Right. Listen, man, you leave them shorts alone, E. All right, I think you leave Colin Delaney alone. He's done nothing wrong here. I like Colin. All right, he's a good guy. Yeah, this was really good. I thought. I don't know. I don't hate it as much as everybody else. Sometimes I don't understand wrestling fans and their like visceral hate towards one person. He's got to win a match sometimes. He's a star. At the end of the day, you guys know it. He's a star. Don't try and pull any of that shit.
I mean, at the end of the day, what has he ever done that was really bad except for win some matches? I mean, he's lost a lot of matches too. So I was confused on the whole situation. He can't win the world title. He's not going to put himself in the world title picture. So what's going on with that whole situation.
Right. So before we get in this Dan Lambert, I wonder who Wardlow's going to play in the MCU a decade from now. There's time. He actually, do you remember his first promo, Wardlow's?
I
know
don't.
We're veering off here. Wardlow did like this. So before he was with MJF, they gave him this badass like superhero gimmick. I don't remember the pay-per-view, but it was before he was with MJF, and he was kind of like, I don't know how to put it, like Spawn kind of. Like he was just on top of a rooftop just beating people up. And it looked really cool, like it was a superhero movie, and he looked the part in it. I'll have to see if it's on YouTube.
I'll have to check it out.
I'll send it to you. But it was really good. Cody has that heat, B-Boy Skyline said. And he said, I like Homelander. Okay. Okay. I see it. That segment was a dookie bagel, though. Do you not like the Dan Lambert stuff? No, Dan Lambert was good. I enjoy Dan Lambert. Really, honestly, all he has to do is go out there and be old man Jim Cornette and just repeat lines that he would say or something similar. That's his gimmick, basically, at this point.
Wait, BJ, you didn't like that whole thing with Brandy and Dan Lambert? That's crazy. I thought that.
Yeah, Dan Lambert talks shit about everybody. Cody, Arn, Brandy. Brandy eventually comes out. They exchange some lines. Some people are saying there was a Paul Heyman line in there. I might have missed that.
Yeah.
Not too sure what was happening.
He was a fat, untalented version of Paul Heyman.
Yikes.
Or something along the lines of that, yeah.
Dude,
Brandy ate him alive in this promo. She was really good, I thought.
Yeah, when they let Brandy be real, sometimes it always comes off a little bit better. The annual Brandy coding segment, I thought it was funny as hell.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good segment, I thought.
We need more Sky and Ego. Yeah, I enjoyed them getting some television time here. Dustin came out to stop the whole thing. So Brandy delivered a line in this. I don't know. This is the quote. Don't get mad at me. I'm repeating it though, because I laughed at this shit. The line was, Dan Lambert kept saying, listen, I'm a black belt. And she was like, well, you're a black belt. Well, I'm a black bitch. And she started taking off the earrings, ready to fight. Dustin comes out to stop him, and Paige and Sky attack him. To me, my number one question was, one, where the hell was Cody? Two, this has to lead to a tag match between them. And I think that could be really, 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 really good if they let them do what they have to do in that. That's just
tag match with who?
So Sky and Ethan Page versus the Rhodes brothers.
Oh yeah, that would be
Cody
good.
and Dustin. I think that would be money. You could even do Derek's gonna hate this wherever he is. A trios match where Brandy's in the ring with Dan Lambert. You could do something with it.
Okay, so since you added the attraction, I think I would like that because that would be something good to see. Okay, I agree with that.
Because they did dog her. They're like, you're a wrestler, and they started that. So
Brandy was fire tonight, man. I actually really enjoyed her promo.
Yeah,
Dan Lambert was great too.
Yeah, he was great. Casey agrees. Dan Lambert's great on the mic. Just wish he had better people he was repping, or that those two were just used better. I get it. I think
that time's coming too.
Yeah, there's going to be some movement, I think, with some people eventually. I thought Cody was going to hit that Triple H special pedigree. He hasn't done it yet. Cody was playing Halo. Cody left the stove on like Earl did that night in Montreal. Come on now. Come on. Brandy was on fire tonight. Let's see. BJ said, nah, I don't dig the Lambert stuff. You've got a team they aren't doing much with except for the annoying voice and the supporter of the guy who does the do good Cena role. My least favorite. Okay.
No, that's what's great about wrestling, man. It's always something you like, something you don't like.
I hear you, BJ. Listen,
can't please everybody.
They're not all winners. That's what I say. It's it's a box of chocolates or a box of cereal. Not all the prizes are winners. Interesting segment. We've got another match here that we could talk about. It was the TBS semifinal matchup here with Thunder Rosa versus Jade Cargill. I don't know, Jesse. This one had a lot of things to offer. Shout out to Thunder Rosa too, she was dressed up as X-23 in this, rocking the Wolverine claws. So I thought that was a really cool thing they did. I'm not gonna lie, when I instantly saw this, I was like, is Brian Cage in trouble? Like, that was his kind of gimmick thing before, and I was just like, I don't know if fans are going to realize that right away, but
I don't know.
I know X23 is different than being Wolverine, but it's still something to notice.
Yo, shout out to Thunder Rosa for carrying this whole match. I'm just going to say that, dude. Jade Cargill was terrible. There were so many mistakes in this match from her that I seen.
Really? I thought Jade did well in this.
Dude, I can't stand another move where she does this after everything that she does, man. Like, I can't get over with that. It's so annoying to me.
I wonder if it's based on the squash matches that she does it so much.
It could be, but
let's see here. We got people still talking the Lambert stuff. Yes, Ace, I'm going to get into those matches too momentarily. And yes, people are just going all in. Casey said Jade Cargill is my gal. Jade is still green.
Yeah, okay. We know she's green. Absolutely.
So yeah, she focused a lot of backbreakers in this match was the thing I noticed on Thunder Rosa. Did a lot of that. Jade's knee was the focus for Thunder Rosa, though. They were trying to use figure 4 leg locks, a lot of that stuff. I'm not going to go into all this move by move. Shoved into the ring post, or not the ring post, the turnbuckle pad on the bottom. And during that, someone cracked her in the head with, I guess it was a bottle. I couldn't see what it was.
I couldn't see what it was either.
But someone got cracked. So in my mind, the instant I saw it, I was like, who could that have been? And I'm like, it's got to be Britt Baker or someone from her crew. Has to be. Gotcha. Do. And it wasn't. The person in the hoodie eventually led to Jade Cargill hitting her Gland Slam, which is called Jaded. She gets the victory. She moves on to the finals. It's Ruby Soho, Jade Cargill, like most of us thought it would be. And cool. That's great. After the match, though, she comes into the ring and starts beating down with Jade Cargill on Thunder Rosa, but she takes off her mask, and it's revealed that it's Mercedes Martinez. We last saw her in Impact Wrestling going for the Knockouts Championship. So this is something different. For what do you think? Good move, good signing.
Well, I wasn't expecting it. I don't know much about her, to be honest. Like I don't watch much Impact, and I do believe she was in NXT, right? For a little while.
Yeah, she was in there for a little bit. She was in like the Mae Young Classics and stuff, and then they signed her.
So she wasn't. What did she do? Like that Retribution stuff, or who did the?
She was in it in the beginning, and So here's the thing I love about older pro wrestlers: they recognize when something is shit and they need to get out. And she came up with an excuse anyway.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know much about her. I knew who she was as soon as she, lifted the mask off and everything like that. I don't know. That's really up to everybody that loves AEW. If the fans are into it, they're into it. But it wasn't too exciting for me personally.
Yeah, it was just interesting. And I'm like, oh, is she with Mark Sterling? Is she going to be with Jade now? This is something else. We didn't really get anything. Nothing was really said for sure or concrete with what's happening with this. So that's things to keep your eyes out for. We got a lot of people jumping in here. So is this the Forbidden Door? Is Martinez? Did she just do a short stint with Impact? I'm guessing it was a short stint. Maybe it was a nice little surprise for them. She should have left AEW in the first place. His return didn't impress me.
Who are we talking about here?
Let me know, Jocelyn, who you're referring to with that last comment. I got a question. Jade's getting that Bobby Lashley push from the Ruthless Aggression era. I mean, listen, Jade looks the part. Jade just has to get in there and have the matches that she needs to have to be good.
Jade looks great, man. She has what it takes. Definitely. I just tonight it wasn't working for me.
Okay. Casey says, yes, she's still learning, but I think she's making great strides. I'm with Casey on this. I do think that she's gotten a lot better. She looks great.
I agree.
Fantastic powerhouse with a great look. Chad says he was shocked to see Martinez. Mercedes was dope. She was a free agent. She was in NWA, early AEW, all in. She needs a vid. She's a vid. What? I don't know what that was supposed to be. I think that was a typo. And needs a real show. Signing NXT was a mistake. I don't think it was a mistake for her. I just think that, dude, she just got called up. Once you got stuck in that Retribution, it was done. Oh, she meant Jade, or excuse me, Martinez.
Oh, okay.
Was Jocelyn, who she was referring to. Like Vince, tell the announcers too, man. Pronouns, pal. Terrible. Getting back into the rest of the card here. You know what? Let's talk about some of the matches for next week. So we know Jade Cargill, Ruby Soho, TBS Championship. I'm putting you on the spot right now, Jesse. Who is going to be the first TBS champion? I'm handing you the pencil. Here you go.
I would like to see Ruby Soho take it, but I have a feeling it's going to be Jade. They're
have you been impressed with Ruby so far since she's come in?
I like Ruby Soho. I don't think that she's been that impressive. But
in ring or character-wise?
A little bit of both, but once again, I mean, there's a lot of focus on a lot of people, so
okay,
it's hard, man. It's hard. You get put on the spot in that company now.
And E said he meant Vet, not Vin. See, there you go. All good, bro. All good. Curious. Well, okay. Well, I just asked it, Casey. See, in my head, bro, all the time. You knew I was going to ask him about that, where we were going with Ruby.
I like Ruby, man. Like I've actually met Ruby Soho in person a few times. Super, super nice person. She's really cool and down to earth, man. So a part of me always wants to root for her just because I know how she really is in person. But I mean, I think it's gonna go to Jade. That's what I think.
I wouldn't be surprised though. Like a lot of people think Jade's the layup, and I'm like, nah, dude. If you go with Ruby, that's still a decent pick.
It would be cool for Ruby just because she didn't get that shot in the WWE. So she never got to hold the title in WWE. So for her to get a title run in AEW would really, lighten up her spirits probably.
Yeah, that'd be good. Let's see here. I think that Black's going to beat Cody for the TNT Championship. All right, Malik. All right. Boo Ruby. Come on, Casey. Casey really wants Jade to win, I think. Yeah, that should be a good match.
There's nothing wrong with that, man. You know?
Yeah. Have fun with this, man. That's what this is. I guess, should we keep running? Let me see if I can run down the rest of the matches. So for Rampage, we've got Cody Rhodes defending the TNT Championship against Ethan Page for New Year's Eve. Should be fun. Their New Year's Smash version, I guess, as they like to call it. Darby Allin. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see Cody losing that. You?
Who's he facing?
Ethan Page.
Ethan Page? No, he's not losing. He's not losing that.
Darby Allin versus Anthony Bowens. That should be a fun match. Solid, but I got Darby. Obviously.
Darby, yeah.
They cut a good promo about Sting and everything. And then we got Penelope Ford and the Bunny versus Ty Conti and Anna Jay in a street fight.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, that should be good too.
Yeah.
Now, if you had to choose trios titles or the women's tag titles, what are you bringing in? Because I know
women's
you're not
tag
a fan
titles.
of women's tag titles.
Yeah, I'm not even thinking about that question. I can't stand trio titles. I think there's no point. It takes everything away from the original tag team titles. Like I said before, man, I'm old school. I don't need none of this new shit going around. The trio stuff is just out of my league, man. I don't like it. And the chat seems split too, by the way, for this TBS question. Got to go with my hometown girl. She's the only person from Indiana I have to cheer for. I really want Ruby Soho to beat Jade, but we know Martinez will be in Jade's corner. Just saying. I'm sure Ruby's a great person, but she hasn't impressed me at all since coming in. I'm with you, Casey. I don't like I said, she hasn't really done much for me either, but I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen in this match. That one will be interesting to watch. That's for sure.
The TBS Championship needs to be a workhorse title, so I'm for Ruby getting the title. Matt Lopez is with you. Women's tag titles. I think it seems the more balanced way to go with it.
Yeah.
And he said he's going for Ruby. Okay. So going back into this, let's go into the Punk promo here. CM Punk comes out, and I'll let you talk about it. What did you think of his promo? Was this the classic, like, oh, it's just the I'm happy to be here? And... It
was until the end. He kind of fired up a little bit, which was good. And then it turned south for me when he was like, that's okay. I'm done with Darby too, or I'm done with MJF too. And, I got to tag with Sting and everything's all happy. And like, oh man, just shut up, Punk. Like, go after MJF. I want this match so bad.
I think though, they have to put the brakes on it a little bit for, if it's happening at the next pay-per-view, you still got a month No, 2 months actually
2 months,
of build to do. So he kind of had to be like, yeah, well, if you're done with me, I'm done with you. Then fine. We all know though that ain't how wrestling works. So I thought that was good. I did like the Brody Lee comments that he had too. I thought that was
absolutely,
really nice of him to bring it up, because Brody Lee, when he was on the AEW Unrestricted podcast, I love the story he told where I think he was looking around at WrestleMania and he was like, I can't believe I'm here. Like, this is the coolest moment. And then he said he was in the back and he was finally coming down a little bit. And Punk was like, hey, man, this place could always be better. And he said he reminded him, like, yo, don't think just because they gave you some shit today that this is like, that's the end all be all and I should be grateful for everything I have. He's like, no, this place could be better and it should be better. And he said he always remembered that, like, after the fact, like, yeah, I should be here. I mean, I busted my ass to do this stuff, And
yeah, absolutely.
I just always loved that story, and I love that they were just bringing it up. And I like that he finally referenced he wants to be champion, but Punk should be in the ladder match then, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. How do you get there with this? Like, is it going to be MJF and Punk one-on-one at Revolution, or are they both going to be in this ladder match? Like, what do you?
I think it's going to end up at Revolution, because I think that I think that's where they're turning this promo, is in the chase for that title, right? Both of them are in that chase for that AEW title. They're both going to get screwed over somehow by one another, and it's going to end up in that match, and it's going to, that's how we're going to get this finished. But other than that, man, I really liked that shot that he took at Tim Tebow tonight too. That had me popping. And the crowd popped too, even though it was in Jacksonville. They're like, oh, okay, you got us, Punk, You
the man, that was one of those. That was funny. It wasn't like the Long Island fans where they were like, "Oh, screw you, you suck."
Yeah.
Let's see here. Team Taz, we got a promo from them. I love the Hook stuff that they're still bringing up. Taz is going to do a breakdown of Hook stuff. Man, like, they're really pushing this stuff. Team Taz seems to be in better footing, though. Remember, people were just complaining about where they were. Now it's like, well, now they got Hook, and now they're getting featured a little bit more. Okay, we're over. Cool. Let's do something with this. Let's make it happen. Good to see them get TV time. Would you like to see them utilize more? What do you got here?
Once again, man, it takes it back to, like, how can you utilize everybody so much more? There's only 2 hours on TV, and this roster is ginormous. So, I mean, I don't blame AEW for not pushing certain superstars. I mean, I think that they're trying to make the best out of it that they can, and they're also trying to give all these other people jobs while WWE's firing them. So, I don't know, man. Of course I would love to see him, get more TV time, but at the same time, I kind of feel for AEW and Tony Khan. He still is. He's been around for a couple of years, and yes, he's watched professional wrestling his whole life, but he's still a new promoter. So he's figuring these things out, man. You just got to kind of give him the benefit of the doubt for it.
Right. And you work closely with a lot of promoters in your area, so
yeah,
that's a very good point that you brought up. Matt Lopez is asking the question, legit, who would be the next challenger for the World Championship at Revolution? So I think he's saying before the Punk and MJF stuff is resolved, who's going to be challenging for the world title? Do you have a person in mind who you're like, I'm putting this person in the main event?
Well, if Danielson doesn't get it at the next show, then I say keep building it with Danielson. But I don't know, man. I honestly, and everybody's probably going to hate me for saying this, but if you don't put that title on Danielson, you're doing yourself a disservice. I feel like AEW can get a lot of ratings with Danielson. He's a well-known name. People were really excited about him, and I think that he can draw that heat, and it builds up that chance for Adam Hangman Page to get that title back.
I'm gonna throw a curveball at this answer, or at this question, excuse me. I'm going to say Adam Cole could be the person to challenge for the World Championship. He has yet to be pinned. He's been in matches where his team has lost, but he has never been pinned. And he can make the argument, Hangman Page, I can take you out, and I'm the better Adam that was ever in the Elite anyway. And you could then begin some of the teases with the Bucks and Red Dragon, and we'll talk about that more in the main event. But
that could also lead to Kenny coming back later and trying to go for his title again, and him having that feud with Adam Cole. It can work in many different ways.
And I see people talking about the Punk promo. Not every Punk promo is going to be greatest. Telling the Rocky can't box with God. That was a great line. Here's what I'll say. I think Punk's promo tonight, me and Rob were talking during it, and we were like, yo, when he turns heel, it's going to be so good. Like, you could tell tonight he was holding it in like, I have so much shit that I want to talk about. Keyboard warriors, internet fans. And he was just like, how can I make this a babyface promo? And that's all he was thinking to himself. I can't say that. I can't say this, but I'll try to incorporate some of it in. And I felt like once the cuffs are off him and he's a heel, game over for a lot of people.
Dude, I feel like that was still a good shot, though, at all the fans that are armchair booking. You know what I mean? So good for Punk on that one. I like that line as well.
Right. And I love someone said Hook puts the respect on his names, and it's all caps like Kenta. Casey calls Kenta caps lock. I love it. Can't call them out for Tebow, but too soon to mention Urban Meyer. Yeah, too soon. Too soon. I'm sure that's going to be in a promo. Give it a year. Now someone's going to bring up Urban Meyer. Okay, who's going to be in the ladder match? Throw some names out there, Jesse, that you'd like to see in this.
Obviously Punk. I'd like to see Punk and MJF in this because that gives time to build that feud a little bit more. I'd like to see Darby in it. Darby's always fun doing crazy stuff like that. I'd like to see one of the Lucha Bros break away and be in it. Not both of them, but I'd like to see Penta go in it personally. But
yeah, big Penta guy. I'm trying to think of who else you could put in here as like the face of the Revolution. I think Scorpio Sky could go in here again too. He's another person I think you could throw in.
There's I mean, how many people go in the ladder match? Is it 6?
I can't remember how many they did last year. It was either 6 or 8. I want to say.
Okay, yeah. So this is a great way to get some other names on TV that are. I mean, they have nothing but big names.
Sammy Guevara's got to go in there, I think, too. Let him just do his thing. TK Booker of the Decade. Ghetto decided to give up the nomination. MJF, Miro. Oh yeah, Miro's been missing in action, but he's been doing promos still on like Rampage and everything. No, don't you dare say that. Am I missing? Oh, I got to do some of the stuff for Derek tonight. I forgot the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara. Knowing the onions that AEW builds, I think it's Adam Cole and the UE versus Elite storyline evolves during that match. Okay. Danhausen needs to be in AEW. I can see that happening. I felt like they were
coming.
They were teasing that shit before on the cruise.
Yeah, he's definitely coming. He's got a broken leg right now, so.
E said, don't put the strap on Danielson, go back to WWE, pretend AEW doesn't exist. We have to put someone in timeout because they don't know how to act in the chat there. Please don't spam links. It's the easy way to get booted out of here. I hope we get Cody Rhodes versus Hook. I think that could happen one day. There's a good conversation about that. I believe we talked about that on your podcast, didn't we?
What?
The Cody and Hook stuff? Did we mention that?
We might have.
Yeah,
I mentioned a lot of stuff on my podcast, dude. I haven't even. I got to go back and re-listen or something.
And you guys better check it out. When's that dropping this episode?
Monday. This Monday.
All right. So make sure you guys go to Spotify and you are locked in. He's also got a YouTube account as well. The Pro Wrestling Shoot.
Yes. Check out our YouTube. That'd be awesome, man. We don't do much on it yet, but go check it out.
Listen, I'm shilling for you, bro. You're going to be good. Go over there and give him a subscribe if you like us. You'll love his content. He's really good. Sammy Guevara has been resorted back to holding cue cards. I just put crying face emoji. There's really not a lot to talk about with this. Brian Pillman Jr. cuts that old school 1980s babyface promo. And I love bringing up what like casual fans say. So my wife walks by and was like, what's up with his hair? And I was like, it's Brian Pillman's son. She's like, oh, I could see that a little bit. Yeah. Okay. And I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
the mullets to honor his father, and mullets are back in from what I can see from a lot of people with like high school
His mullet's
kids.
dope, dude. His mullet is dope.
It's good shit. It's good shit. So this leads to Malachi coming out and just like scaring him. It's like I don't know, reminding me of like that Freddy Krueger. I can't think of the one from like 92, maybe it was, where it was like the movie about making Freddy Krueger. And I'm just like, what is he doing? Like he just showed up. He's like, hello, goodbye. And they just show him walk away.
They kind of botched that camera angle too, because they turned on the lights too quick and it's just showed him walking back.
I thought they were going to do something where like Brody King might have been behind him, and then they were going to, but not yet. It's not time.
It's coming.
Yeah, Pillman. Next week's card looks stacked though. So we've got the rematch here with Bryan Danielson and Hangman Page. I love it. You don't get rematches too often, and it makes sense. I'm with this. I'm all about this. This should be a really good match. By the way, spoiler alert for anybody watching this. You guys already know it's not going to go to the judges. It's not going to go 60 minutes again. It's going to be different this time. So prepare yourselves. Though I think that's going to be a really good match.
And thank God for that too.
What? That it's not going to go 60?
Yes.
Listen, man, I didn't hate it. I like
the match was good, dude. I just can't watch these. I don't know. I'm not saying the match was bad at all, but I remember watching it, and
I'm trying to think of who else had some good 60-minute ones that we should have you watch another 60-minute match and just see if it was just that match or if you just can't do 60 minutes, period.
No, I know I can't do 60-minute matches.
Okay.
I can watch them one time. I will never go back and watch them again.
So do you hate like Iron Man matches then?
Yeah, I can't stand that match. It's terrible.
One day we'll have to do like WrestleMania moments with you, and I want to hear you just talk about WrestleMania 12 then for a long period of time.
So that match, once again, it was a one and done for me, and that was longer than an hour. They went over the time limit and then still went some. I'm good, man.
And they knew though; they only kept it after that. Casey, thank you for being my movie buff. He said that was the new Nightmare, Wes Craven's predecessor to Scream. Thank you, good sir. Gotta go back to watch on Fight without the commercials. Conrad just subscribed to Jesse's Pro Wrestling Shoot.
Hey, shout out.
See?
Thank you.
All right. I'm getting royalties from this, Chad. I promise.
Hey.
So make sure it happens.
I'm cutting them in.
Matt Lopez says, I'm going to laugh if this match ends in 18 seconds.
I won't. I'll praise it.
Pillman's boring tonight and that hair is trash. Come on, E. You hate it, man. Don't hate on Pillman's mullet.
Nah, that mullet is straight fire.
He says he can't wait to see the judges. Yeah, this is just gonna be a payday for some people. That match was dope. All 60 minutes of it. I watched it 3 times. He said I also have ADHD. So all right. There is something magical about a 60-minute Broadway. I'm with BJ on that. There is.
Hey man, if you think it's magic, that's fantastic for you. Get that trash out of my face. I want nothing to do with it.
That's the one thing I do think that turns people off from AEW. I think there's something for every pro wrestling fan on there. You just have to find what it is. If you like the old school guys, MJF, FTR, those are your guys. If you want the dark brooding characters, Sting, Darby Allin, Malachi. If you're a fan of tag team wrestling, they've got the best tag team division, period, in the world. I'll say it. Like, I think they have the best tag division.
Absolutely. I agree.
Character work. If you like comedy, you got Orange Cassidy, Colt Cabana, The Dark Order. You got a bunch of people that you could do stuff with. So
I'm surprised that they're not breaking over 1 million every single episode.
I think they will. Once they go to TBS and they can build that audience, that's going to be the key story. I think we talked about this too on yours. Like, it's going to drop, but you have to build from that. When the NBA comes in and wipes you out for a couple weeks, that is killer to their numbers. Like, every time that happens, they go to 800,000. And then you can't say, like, well, what happened? You happened. Like, you did this to us.
Yeah, you switched the channel, asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was kind of worried about the TBS switch in the beginning, but I'm pretty excited about it.
We won't get moved as much now. If it happens, it should be a rare thing at that point. Pillman is epic. I hope he advances over the card in the next couple of years. Yeah, I do. I'm a Pillman fan as well. Put Hybrid 2 on TV. Yeah, good luck with that. I haven't seen them in a while, actually, since the haircut. Jesse, I like you. I can't stay and watch 60-minute matches. See? We're all different. Man. That's what I love.
Hey,
this is a show by fans for fans. I tell you guys everyone, I read your shit. I don't charge you to read your comments.
Well, that's what I love about your chat too. Every time I come in here to watch you guys live, is everybody always has a different opinion. You know what I mean? And that's what's great about professional wrestling. You don't have to feel the same about, every single aspect of professional wrestling. I can't stand when there's the WWE versus AEW haters. You know what I mean? Like, when you watch WWE, you suck. Like that's ridiculous. Listen, watch what you want to watch and like what you want to like.
I'm going to tell you a true comment that happens every week almost. So when I'm listening to your show. Shout out to Brian Williams and Graham Baker, the Bombcast podcast. I do the same thing to them. When I'm listening, I usually am writing things back sometimes because I am so into it that I'm like, I have to say this now before I forget. Like, how could you? How could you say this about that movie? Or how could you say this about that match? Like, I'm just writing you throughout listening to it. Like, this guy's really pissing me off right now. Are you kidding me? Like, I want to be in the show with them, like arguing, going back at it. And
have to turn it into a radio station, man. Have people call in.
Exactly.
I have the capabilities now. We're good.
You need to have that, maybe live Q&A session one where you just give people the thing to call in. Dude, so BJ says AEW is the true variety show. It throws it at you at the pace of the Attitude Era with the edge of ECW with Turner Networks, and there's some old school tropes and New Japan style matches. BJ?
100%.
I'm starring that. I don't know what that does, but I just gave you a star on my side of things here. I don't know if that's going to pin your comment or whatever, but that is definitely some good shit.
Should have an option to like send these guys $1 every time.
Oh, I should send them $1.
Every time they get a fantastic comment on the board.
Exactly. But then I should get the money back anytime I have to time out someone for spamming their bullshit in the chat, though. Yeah, really good stuff, man. I'm loving this conversation here. So next week we got Pillman, Malachi Black. Tag titles are on the line next week too. Jurassic Express versus Lucha Bros. Do they do the switch? Would you pull it?
I think they should. I mean, I don't want them to. I like Lucha Bros better, but that's just me being, biased. But I definitely think that it's time at some point. I mean, do you wait for Revolution for this or
maybe So here's the thing. There are a bunch of people in this tag race right now that I think could take the straps. Jurassic Express has been one of them. I also think that a nice surprising team out of nowhere, Butcher and the Blade. I will always say their names like, if you need a team to randomly just win them and take them off someone and shock people, I would put them on them for a little short run. You've also got there was another tag team I was just thinking of with this. Pride and Powerful. Proud and Powerful, excuse me. They could be in there. Santana and Ortiz, fan-freaking-tastic. There's a lot of work that can be done with them as well. Red Dragon's in the mix now, too, that we're going to talk about here in the main event. It should be really good, and we got people. What in AEW would be appealing to the Jerry Lawlers of the world? I have a joke, but it's low-hanging fruit, and I'm not going to do that. You said Brian Williams, ask your bud where the game's at. Listen, trust Brian is working on the game, doing his damnedest. Jesse, you're going to be a guest on their podcast, aren't you, coming up here?
Yes, sir. I think it's Friday. Yeah, this Friday.
Okay. So, and he will not be asking about the game. Trust me, your time will come.
Yeah, Brian's a good friend of mine, man. I don't bug him about work in public.
Exactly. Listen, just trust. The game is being worked on. Things are happening. It'll get there. It takes a long time to make a video game, truthfully. Long time listener, first time caller.
Yes. I love that.
I like that idea. That $1 idea. I'm going to make a killing with this Manscaped plugs.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna have to just get BJ on the payroll, man.
Right. Jurassic Express heel turn, someone said. Jeez. Red Dragon will be champions before the year is over. I'm calling it. Okay. Matt Lopez is a big Ring of Honor guy, so he knows the Red Dragon. I'm not even going to put up your comment because I saw what you said, and that's low-hanging fruit as well about the King. So let's talk this main event here, Jesse. Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends versus Adam Cole and Red Dragon. What did you think of the match? I have no notes for this.
I thought it was good, man. I mean, I was back and forth kind of in the room watching it, but what I seen of it was really good. I thought it was just real surreal to see Undisputed Era together on TNT for AEW. It's the competition versus the rival. So I thought it was good, man. It was weird seeing them all in black and white too. Interesting.
For real, man. That was different. Very different what they did there. I thought that Kyle O'Reilly looked much happier in this match than what we were seeing him do with oh my goodness, what is his name? The thumb from NXT. I can't even think of his name right now. Von Wagner. There it is.
Von Wagner. Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I haven't even watched a single episode of that new NXT. Not one. I've seen clips.
You know what? Watch next week's. I think next week's will have a nice card, but we'll see what happens after that.
Is it good? Do you not like it at all?
There's some positives, but it's way less than before. It's you know what I mean? Like I loved NXT, the black and gold brand, for years and years and years. And I thought it was the best show, like best wrestling show out. Now,
not so much, huh?
No, it's just not there for me. It doesn't hit, man. So yeah, overall, this was a really good match. Basic, man. It felt like a Ring of Honor like main show. Like it just was like, oh, okay, this is something that we can to look at and just go back through.
What'd you think of Kyle O'Reilly teeing up with Trent?
It was good. It was
right at the beginning of the match.
Yeah, I like it. It all worked for me. I thought Orange and Cole still have the same chemistry. I thought this could possibly be one of the matches at Revolution as well, where it's going to be like the best friends of them since they've been in this feud with each other. Yeah, this is the best thing for Bobby Fish. Like when I was looking at this, I'm like, Bobby Fish needed this more than anybody, because if not, he was going to be the guy who took the pinfalls for whatever they needed him to. And now he's back in a good position. He can be in a tag team and get a nice run with him and Kyle O'Reilly. I like it. And most people don't know this. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly were tag partners in Ring of Honor. Like when they debuted, I saw them and I was like, who are these guys? Come on. I'm like, I'm getting up for a second. Little did you know that those were going to be some of the biggest stars. And I said the same thing about Adam Hangman Page. I was just like, who is this guy? Like, nah, not right now. This ain't it. And I learned those guys were the reasons why I learned to shut my mouth, because I'm like, this dude could be the next big star. You just don't know it. Just got to find what works for them. Basically, they let Red Dragon get the win with the Chase of the Dragon, the kick combo with the Brainbuster. It worked. They got the W. They're still teasing this tension after the Young Bucks interfered to help them get the win. I like this storyline. We all know that this is leading to some long-term things. Tell me in the chat, though, what did you guys think of the show? Thumbs up, thumbs down, out of 10. Give me some type of rating for what you thought of the show in your own words. Let me know. And let's see what we got here for some comments before we get on out of here. Seeing that Red Dragon logo was amazing. I loved hearing the song tonight. I thought that was good.
Yeah, but it was like cut short. I agree with I seen Malik's comment down there. Yeah, it was cut short. I was mad.
You know what? That's the Trios. When they're trying to get all those other theme songs, they're like, he paid for Orange Cassidy's theme. You're going to hear this. Like
another reason why Trios sucks.
Hey,
I'm sorry,
I can't say
what'd you think of that finish though in that match?
It was good. It was cool. You know, like I said, it felt like
the
a Ring
Young
of
Bucks.
Honor match.
What do you think that even means though? Like the Young Bucks coming in there and doing what
I
they did.
think it's going the route you said. I think Adam Cole is playing the Bucks, and we're going to eventually get that big heel turn to where they're like, you know what, I'm going to beat your asses, and you guys deserve this. And I think Kenny and the Bucks will turn face then. I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll see. It should be interesting. And I think Cole never forgot what they did to him. They beat the hell out of him and kicked him out of
We were talking about this on my show, I think, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Guys, please go check out my show still.
Yeah,
you'll
enjoy the Eddie Guerrero talk period for it.
Yeah, it's the main event, man. But yeah, no, I think you're right, absolutely.
Yeah, so this should be fun. Where is it? Next week, New Year's Evil card looks good for NXT. So Matt Lopez is also saying the same thing. My favorite person from the new NXT 2.0 is Carmelo Hayes. I tried to watch NXT 2.0. I really did. It's not worth it. It's just an extra hour of Raw right now. Facts.
Dang.
Yeah. So let's see here. Ace gave it a thumbs up. Matt Lopez said thumbs up. E said NXT was great tonight. Yeah,
that's true.
Casey said thumbs up. E said thumbs up. What do you say, Jesse? Good show tonight for you from AEW?
I thought it was good. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was good.
Okay. BJ saying 8.5 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for this show. Have a happy New Year, guys. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you, BJ.
You too, BJ. Take it easy, man.
E said black and gold forever. Jocelyn says AEW didn't hit for me this week. Felt like I was watching Raw clips. Just rough to be the last show of the year. It gets a 4. Woo! Hit him with the Bret Hart 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I thought it was about 6.5 at least, but
Yeah, and you know what? With weekly television shows, though, you're gonna have that where it feels just like, oh, okay, they did what they had to do. Good.
Yeah, man, you're not gonna. Yeah, you're not gonna win them all, man.
And they got to get ready to promote this Battle of the Belt show. We only know one match. It's Dr. Britt Baker versus Rio right now. They have to promote this match next week, in my opinion.
Who do you think's taking that?
Dr. Britt Baker. To me, the end game with that, the end game's got to be with Thunder Rosa to get back to her. I think Mercedes Martinez is a bump in the road. Ha 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 with the Brett. Chad said, Conrad Jesse podcast tonight, 10 out of 10. Thank you, good sir.
Thanks,
Does
man,
Adam Cole and Red Dragon win all the gold in AEW and feud with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega? I don't see that happening, Malik.
Yeah.
Not all the gold. I think Cole's going to be a TNT champion before he's a AEW world champion. He's going to get a shot at it, but I don't think he's going to win it. Not right away, at least. Other than that, Jesse, do you have anything else that you want to promote? Maybe your social media handles? What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, you guys can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at the Pro Wrestling Shoot. You can follow us on Twitter at TPWS Podcast. And yeah, we're on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, pretty much everywhere you can get audio on demand at this point. Follow or subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Pro Wrestling Shoot. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. We drop episodes every Monday. Also, before we get ready to get out of here, guys, if you haven't, make sure you check out Jesse and the Pro Wrestling Shoot. Him and James are hilarious. I won't mention Trill Talk, but I have to because that was part of the bargaining agreement for me to be on his podcast this week from his. We're obviously past 10 minutes. Can I throw an F-bomb?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Fuck that guy.
Not a fan of Chris, apparently, from Trill Talk. But you guys will have to go through, listen to the whole series of the show, and you'll understand what we're talking about. There's a great segments on there. Dude, when it comes down to this, I need you guys to fill out that survey. Me and Rob, I think we're going to try and do it tomorrow. I haven't voted on it. I have not seen the results. I have not calculated shit, and I can't wait. I had to pay money for this survey. So if you haven't voted, get in there tonight or tomorrow and vote. And I'm going to try and set it up. I got all the graphics set up for me and Rob for tomorrow. So we're going to go
super fast survey too.
Yeah, it's really 10 fast questions.
Yeah.
10 questions. And you can fill in your answer if you don't like what I gave you as options. So go in there, and then we're going to try to review that. And I may, keyword may, on Friday, try to do some day one predictions and possibly a New Japan Wrestle Kingdom preview. I'm going to try. I know Brian usually does them with me. I'm trying to let Brian deal with what he's got to deal with right now. So whatever he's on, he's going to do that. Trust me, I'll get Brian back on the podcast to talk some pro wrestling, I promise. So I know a lot of people are asking me, sending me DMs, you getting Brian to come back on to do Wrestle Kingdom. I'm going to let Brian do what he's got to do because he doesn't need any of those video game questions like we were getting in the chat. He gets them every day and tagged in it probably every day about it. So Jesse, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. It was a blast doing the show with you, and it was a blast doing your show this week. So there's a lot of everything Pro Wrestling Shoot, combos. He's got a badass background. Show this dude some love. He's a real pro wrestling fan out in the West Coast.
The forbidden door is open in the podcast world.
Oh, it's been open over here. So, yeah, you're always welcome to come back on. And you know what?
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
If you're free next week, maybe we'll try and do it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I should be free next week.
Okay. Yeah, we could definitely talk about that then.
Cool, man.
Thank you, Casey, for telling me he put Repo Man for every question. I appreciate that. Those will be discarded. Thank you. And he's still saying, but where's that game at, though? Give it up. But for myself and Jesse, we are out for this episode of Everything Pro Wrestling. Thank you for joining us. We will be back next week when a new era starts on TBS. Thank you guys for joining us. Peace.
Not many in this can understand. This the podcast to show you who I am. Conrad Cushman, the legend in the plans. Please listen. listen every day to the showcase. The opinions and knowledge that anyone can take. Showing you how it is done. Proving I am number one. What a legend becomes. This is now my time to show you that I am here. This podcast just to make it loud and clear. By the fans, for the fans. Not many whose head can understand everything pro wrestling. It can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people. The best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin. The opinion and the lesson. Yes.